വെൽക്കം ടു ഫിസിക്സ് കെമിസ്ട്രി ബയോളജി ഓൺലൈൻ. കഴിഞ്ഞ വീഡിയോയിൽ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തതിൻ്റെ ബാക്കി ഭാഗങ്ങളാണ് ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നത്. എല്ലാവരും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക.
Joule's law. Joule's law, this is the mathematical equation for Joule's law. And also from this we can say that the heat generated is equal to the product of the square of the current, the resistance and the time of flow of current. Also we can say that the factors affecting heat generated in a conductor will be current, resistance and time. Now how these factors influence heat? Before that we have to mention what is Joule heating. Joule heating or ohmic heating. When a conductor carries current, we know that it will get heated, and thus this heating effect or this heating process is termed as Joule heating or ohmic heating, and the generated heat can be calculated by using this equation. Now what are the factors influencing H? They are current, resistance and time. Now let us discuss about the factors influencing Joule's law. The factors are current, resistance and time. As current increases, heat energy also increases. What happens if how resistance influences? If voltage applied is same, if the voltage is same for two resistors, if the voltage is same, then heat will be greater. Heat will be greater in low resistance conductor or low resistance in that is, if voltage is same voltage is available for two different resistors, then what is the amount of heat energy, or compare the heat energy generated in the two resistors. If voltage is same, then heat will be greater in low resistance, which is the low value of resistor. It will be having more heat energy, because if same voltage is available for two resistors, then current will be depending on resistance. That is, if resistance is low, current passing through it will be greater. When current increases, it will influence heat energy. If current is same, if current given to the resistors or available to the resistors are same, if current is same, then the resistance is the factor which will determine the amount of heat energy. That is, if current is same, then the more resistance will be, then the more resistance will be heated more, or the large resistance will be heated more. Thus we cannot say that if resistance of a resistor is greater, we cannot say that the heat generated in it will be greater. It depends on two factors. If the voltage given or available to the resistor is same, two resistors of different values are connected in such a way that if the voltage is same for each of them, then the low resistance will be having greater heat energy. if current is same in the two different resistors, if current flowing through each of them is same, then the large resistance will be heated more. Then the resistance with larger value will be heated more. Now let us complete the table 1.2. Here resistance is given in this column, current is given here, and time is given. We have to find heat produced and the change in heat energy. That is, the heat produced is calculated using the equation H is equal to I square RT. Now we are changing the values of current, resistance and time in all cases. Here the resistance R is changed to 2R. Now the resistance R is 2R, I is I itself and T is T. Now what will be here? H is equal to I square RT. Here I is I itself, so we have to not to change I, and R is replaced by 2R. 2R into T. Thus we get I square into 2R into T. That will be 2I square RT. That is, how much is the change then? I square RT and 2I square RT. Initially I square RT was the heat generated, and now when we increase the resistance by 2R, the new value of H is 2I square RT. So the change is twice. Heat generated increases 2 times. So you have to do this calculation in your workspace and give the value here 2I square RT. Now the second case is R is R itself and I is changed to a new value 2I. T is T itself. Now what is the heat energy produced? H is equal to I square RT. That is, I is 2I. The 2I whole square into RT. That is equal to 4I square RT. That is, the new value of heat is changed by 4 times. Change is by 4 times. Now if R is reduced by R by 2, what happens? Then H is equal to I square into R is now R by 2. R by 2 into T. That is 1 by 2 I square RT. That is, heat generated will be halved. Now the other 3 cases are R is R itself and I is reduced by half and time remains as T itself. Then what will be the H? H is equal to I square RT. I should be replaced by I by 2. Therefore I by 2 whole square into R into T. I by 2 whole square means I square by 4 into R into T. That is, the heat produced is 1 by 4 times I square RT. That is, if current is halved, what happens to the heat energy? Heat energy reduces by 4. That is, it becomes 1 by 4. It reduces by 1 by 4 times. Now, let us see the next case. Resistance is R, current is I, but the time is increased by 2T. What happens to the heat energy? H is equal to I square into R into 2T. That is equal to 2I square RT. Heat energy increases twice. Increases 2 times. Now, what is the last case? Resistance R, current I, and time is reduced by half, or time is halved. H is equal to I square R into T is replaced by T by 2. That is equal to 1 by 2 I square RT. That is halved. Heat energy will be half if T is changed to T by 2.
Now, let us go through an experiment. This experiment is, and the video is given in your textbook through Diksha, and by scanning the QR code, you can see this video. This experiment is to observe the relation between the heat developed according to Joule's law and the current resistance and the time for which the current flows. There are two beakers of 200 ml capacity. Each beaker contains 100 ml of water. There are two wires, one is nichrome and the other is copper. Now increase the time for passing current to 5 minutes from 3 minutes and measure the temperature. After 5 minutes, the temperature of beaker with nichrome wire is found to be 44 degrees Celsius. The two wires are of same length and diameter. Now we have to measure the temperature of water in the beakers using a thermometer. When switched on, isn't the same current that passes through nichrome wire and copper wire? Observe the ammeter reading. Measure the temperature of water in the two beakers after 3 or 4 minutes. Repeat the experiment by changing the current and the time. After 3 minutes, temperature of beaker in which nichrome wire is placed is 36 degrees Celsius and the temperature of beaker in which copper wire is placed is 33 degrees Celsius. That is, the nichrome wire is heated more. Thus, we conclude that the heat generated in a current carrying conductor is directly proportional to the product of the square of the current in the conductor, the resistance of the conductor, and the time of flow of current.
Now let us do this problem. Find out the heat developed in 3 minutes by a device of resistance 920 ohm working under 230 volt. First we have to write the given data. Heat developed in 3 minutes, that is T is equal to 3 minutes. We should convert this minutes into seconds. So by multiplying it by 60, we get 180 seconds. Now, what is resistance R? R is given as 920 ohms. And last, V, voltage. V is equal to 230 volt. Thus, here V, R and T are given. So, we have to use the equation involving V, R and T. That is V square by R into T. That is equal to 230 square by 920 into 180. That is equal to 230 into 230 divided by 920 into 180. Now we have to simplify this. 23 is 4 times in 92 and 180 by 4 20 45. Now we have to multiply 230 into 45. The remaining numbers are 230 and 45. That is thus we get 10,350 joules as heat energy. Now let us do this problem. Find out the heat developed when 3 ampere current flows through an electric iron box designed to work under 230 volt for 1 minute. Here, what are the data given? First, 3 ampere, that is 3 ampere current, that is I is equal to 3 ampere. Flows through an iron box designed to work under 230 volt, that is V is equal to 230 volt. Next, 1 minute, that is time. T is equal to 1 minute means 1 into 60 is equal to 60 seconds. Now, which is the equation? H is equal to I V T. Thus, we can write I is 3 into V is 230 into T is 60. Then multiplying, we get 23 into 3, 69 into 6. Four 414 is a number. Then how many zeros? 2 zeros. This much joule. Thus, this is very simple for calculating. Only we need is to find the equation which is useful in each problem. Now, table 1.3 in page number 13. Here, two heaters, heater A and heater B are given. Each working with 230 volt. Same voltage is given to two heaters. And they are worked for a time 5 minutes. Here also the heater B is also working for 5 minutes. The only difference in them is the resistance of heating coil of heater A is 1150 ohm and the resistance of heater B is 460 ohm. Now we have to find the difference in their heat energy, or we have to calculate the heat energy generated by heater A and heat energy generated by heater B. Here heat can be calculated using H is equal to V, R and T are given. So we have to use V square by R T. V is equal to 230 square by 1150 into T is 5 minutes. 5 minutes means 5 into 60 seconds. On simplifying this, we will get 13,800 joules. Similarly, we have to find the heat energy in B. H is equal to, using the same equation, V square by R into T. By substituting 230 square divided by 460 into time is 5 minutes, that is 5 into 60 seconds. By simplifying this, we get 34,500 joule. Now, see the amount of heat energy. That is the heater with more resistance coil generated less heat energy, and the heater B with low resistance has generated greater amount of heat energy. That is, when we supply same voltage to two heaters, then the low resistance coil will be heated more. Now, table 1.3 in page number 13. Here, two heaters, heater A and heater B are given. Each working with 230 volt. Same voltage is given to two heaters. And they are worked for a time 5 minutes. Here also the heater B is also working for 5 minutes. The only difference in them is the resistance of heating coil of heater A is 1150 ohm and the resistance of heater B is 460 ohm. Now we have to find the difference in their heat energy, or we have to calculate the heat energy generated by heater A and heat energy generated by heater B. Here heat can be calculated using H is equal to V, R and T are given. So we have to use V square by R T. V is equal to 230 square by 1150 into T is 5 minutes. 5 minutes means 5 into 60 seconds. On simplifying this, we will get 13,800 joules. Similarly, we have to find the heat energy in B. H is equal to, using the same equation, V square by R into T, by substituting 230 square divided by 460 into time is 5 minutes, that is 5 into 60 seconds. By simplifying this, we get 34,500 joule. Now, see the amount of heat energy. That is, the heater with more resistance coil generated less heat energy, and the heater B with low resistance has generated greater amount of heat energy. That is, when we supply same voltage to two heaters, then the low resistance coil will be heated more. Now, several questions are given. Why does the heater having low resistance get heated more? What is the reason for its more heat? And that is, if resistance is less, then we know that more current will flow through that. The second question is, in which way does the change in resistance influence the heat developed? As the resistance is low, the current through it will be greater and the heat energy generated will be greater. And the third question, find out the current in the heaters A and B and compare the heat developed. That you can do as homework. That is, current can be calculated by using equation I is equal to V divided by R. Here V is given as 230 volt and R also is given in each of the heaters. So we can find the value of current, and you find the value of current and comment it below. How do the resistors bring about a change in the current in the circuit? The answer, as I told you before, that is, the resistor with greater resistance, small current will be flowing through it. So, its heat energy developed in it will be small. This is the case occurring only when same voltage is applied to both the heaters and they work for same time.